hello, I'm Kråkan, also known as Corvus Cornix, and welcome to Yacc, yet another Crowcast where I pick a game I played for a week and then I'll talk about it. This week's game is Wario Land: Super Mario Land 3. It was released in 1994 and it's a single-player platformer developed by Nintendo R&D 1 and published by Nintendo, and also will be spoilers up ahead just so you know, but first a little backstory. So when I was a kid, my parents didn't have a lot of money, so we have to more or less save up money or during Christmas or birthdays getting really lucky with, getting a console and games. So me and my brother actually got he got a black Game Boy and I got a transparent one, and one of the games that I saved up for was Wario Land, and I took it to school without telling my mom, and I think you know what's gonna happen, but we didn't have lockers when I was in early grade school. We have these boxes with our names on, and after lunch break I was supposed to play Game Boy, but it was gone. So I talked to my friends and see if they've seen anyone taking my Game Boy. I talked to the teachers, and I had the daunting task of actually telling my mom and dad that I lost my Game Boy, that I was not supposed to bring to school. But a week later, the Game Boy magically appeared back in my box again with all drained batteries, but the game was still in there, and the save files were so messed up, so I don't know what this kid did with it, but this is a funny story actually. Don't bring your Game Boy to school, kids. So before I talk about the game, I need to explain who Wario is. So he's basically Mario's opposite. He's greedy, fat, and generally a bad guy, and he wears yellow. So the plot is, it's a bit silly. So Wario was thrown out of Mario's castle in the previous game, and he's now on a revenge quest of sort to get a bigger castle than Mario to outshine him, and he needs to collect treasures and coins in order to achieve this. So when the game starts up, you get the game logo and a pirate duck trying to outsail Wario on the seas, and it ends with the duck getting tackled boat and all by Wario. And if you wait a bit, there is a little demo that plays without sound. And after that, Wario rushes into a file save room where you can pick or select files such as A, B, C, and clear. So the game starts on a beach called Rice Beach, so all the worlds are or has some kind of connection to food. So in the first levels, or more or less all of the levels, you collect coins, you collect hearts, and you can also break certain blocks if Mario or Wario is big. So this game's enemies aren't actually the classic Mario types. You don't have Goombas or Koopa Troopas, you have pirate ducks, you have knife throwing guys, you have fallen shells, you have birds, and so on. So most of the enemies in this game can't hurt Wario if he's big, so you have a couple of power-ups. So you have the garlic, which turns small Wario into big Wario, and if you take or grab another garlic, you get a horned helmet. So the horned helmet can actually stick to ceilings if you press up and hold the A button. You can also ground pound one. In this mode you break certain blocks or stun enemies on the ground. So at the end of the first level, a pirate will open a skull door with the help of a coin from his pocket. So you can do this by yourself. In the later levels, you just press up on the D-pad and the B button, you take out 10 coins from your pocket and you're able to open the door. So if you have any money left while finishing a level, you're able to play 2 mini games. One of them is a bomb game where you throw a ball with bombs, trying to hit enemies. The other one is trying to choose the bucket, which bucket contains the weight or money. And at the end of the game, all the money that you earn will be counted down to a higher score. So you need all the money you can get in order to get the castle for Wario in the end. This game also has checkpoints throughout the level, so you can pay 10 coins in like a totem and it starts to glow, and if you die you will start from that point. It's basically like a spawn area, a checkpoint. And the game saves after each of the levels you beat. And I almost forgot to talk about it, but this game has other power-ups as well. So you have the Dragon Cap, which basically is a short burst flamethrower. You have the Flying Cap, which it actually looks like a seagull, and I don't know why, I don't like seagulls. But it's a big skipper at the end of the game because you can always fly infinite with it if you time your button presses right. So normal levels in the game are marked with a circle, and if a level has more than 2 circles, it means that it has an extra exit to it. So Wario can actually collect treasures along his quest, so there are 15 in total, and they help him, towards his ultimate goal of getting revenge on Mario. The first boss of the game is a spiky spinning turtle. You can either hit him from below or you can tackle him while he's not spinning. So once you beat him with a couple of hits, you collect the coins that drop from the sky. And at this point I realized that my battery backup for the saving function of the game inside the cartridge was all dead. So that means no saving, no turning off the Game Boy Pocket until I have something to make a review out of. The next world is Mount Teapot. On the 7th course you can actually find a secret door that will take you to another world called Shepherd Island. And it's basically a floating ice block in the water, and it has a lot of hidden stuff on it. But getting back to Mount Teapot, on course 3 you can actually find a treasure, and that was the first one I actually grabbed. It's a harp, so in order to get this one you need a key in order to open a locked door, and it's hidden in a hidden room basically. On course 11 I found my second treasure, which was a crown. And beating course 12, I think it was, makes a giant UFO fall from the sky, revealing the boss battle. And the boss battle is basically a giant bull, so you tackle him, you lift him up and throw him off the stage. I don't know, he was a really simple boss and I totally forgot about him. And after that boss is on to Stove Canyon, and there's another world that's themed after pirates and another forest called Mint or Minstrel Forest. And after that there's a castle battle against a pirate princess and her genie. And if you manage to beat this genie, you can actually trade in your coins and treasures to get a castle. But if you have enough treasures and enough gold, you can actually get your face printed on the moon, which is kind of funny. Wario's ugly face on the moon is kind of priceless. And if you don't have enough money or treasures, you will get like a birdhouse. And that's this game in a nutshell. So gameplay. Help Wario outshine Mario by trading in all the treasures and gold you find throughout the adventure in order to get a castle. Control, the D-pad is movement, the B button tackles, flies, flamethrowers depending on the cap you have, the A button jumps, and the start button pauses. Graphics. So this game is twisted in its aesthetics, just like Wario is. So he's a bit crooked and the world is a bit more dangerous, and I like that concept because it's just the way that Wario is. He's kind of weird, and the world is also weird and crooked. Sound and music. Ryoji Yoshitami and Kosu Ishikawa made the music for this game. And the music reflects the goofy nature of, the world and the characters. So the music isn't your standard Mario gig, but it's very interesting. Easter egg seekers and glitches. So if you press the start button during gameplay and then press the select button 16 times, you will bring up the debug menu. So a blinking square will appear at the bottom of the screen where you can change all the values such as time, hearts, and money. And I figured this out as a kid by pure accident, just pushing the select button. And remember, back in the day, there was no internet to fall back on. At least it wasn't this, accessible as it is today. But I figured it out. And it's one of those things, you discover like magic, like a magic trick. And this is how you do. You can cheat in the game now. And I thought that was fascinating. So in conclusion, I wrote yes, play it. So I'm obviously going to be biased because I grew up with this game, but the controls are pretty responsive. I like the sound and the graphic design because they reflect Wario as a character itself. The sad part about the game was that the battery backup was dead, but I can't have everything right. But this is one of those titles that it always felt good picking up and playing when I was on the go, playing a few levels, collecting some coins, just having fun. And I actually picked it up. I forgot to talk about it, but I went to a retro convention called Retromania and I picked this game up, and I thought I had it at home, but I didn't. So probably back in the day my brother needed money and sold it without telling me, because that's the thing that happened. Money was always an issue, it seems. Or probably it got lost in a drawer or something while moving. It happens all the time, right? But it was fun revisiting this game, and I can definitely recommend it if you want to play it. It's not that hard to get a physical copy, but make sure to get one with a functioning battery save. So anyway, thank you for listening and or watching, and take care.